Where's the price of gold on a day when the market's going up? The price of gold is down $8, but still strong, $1,523 per ounce. Who's with me? David Dietze, as usual on a Friday. Welcome, David. Rebecca Walser, in the studio with me, here in New York. That's a treat. Jackie DeAngelis and, of course, Ashley Webster. All right, David, right at it. We're now up 170 points. Why? Give me reasons.
It's the strong consumer. We saw retail sales double reported yesterday versus what was expected, plus productivity gains, plus low weekly unemployment gains, coupled with, of course, shock and awe language from the Finnish member of the ECB talking about all the monetary stimulus that the ECB is going to provide in September. Those two factors alone, I think, are helping drive this market north.
May I just interpret that? The Finnish guy, okay, we don't normally pay a lot of attention to Finnish guys on this program, but he's saying there's going to be a gigantic stimulus program in Europe. And that you say is good for us.
Absolutely, because it's lowering interest rates there, and that's going to keep a lid on interest rates here.
Rebecca Walser, first appearance in New York City, I think, or maybe the second.
That's okay.
I don't care. Give me reasons why the market's up.
Yeah, I think he's exactly right. We have strong fundamentals. Consumer sentiment is so high. The retail sales obviously are up, and we're good, and we're strong. And if we're going to get it's the world that's the problem right now, not the United States. So if the world is going to give monetary quantitative easing and stimulus, then we can take it, and we'll take it so that it doesn't come to our shores. Because we're good. The United States is still good. We've got great fundamentals.
And trade-sensitive stocks on your screen right now. There's another reason why the Dow is up. They are all up. But Boeing's still at, what, 329? Yeah. Look at Apple, please. They say they're planning on adding 20,000 jobs in America in the next 4 years. Does that make you want to buy Apple stock at 204, Rebecca?
Well, it's still a good long-term play. Absolutely. They are the ones to go to still. I mean, the apps and all of where they're shifting to their actual business model, not so much hardware, but more software, apps, and all of those things. So Apple's, they have 9,000, manufacturers in the United States where we're providing jobs.
Do you think they're responding to pressure from President Trump? You're nodding your head.
Yeah, absolutely. It's good politics. And obviously, they're also seeing the effect of relying too heavily on offshore sourcing for all their materials and so forth. They're trying to bring it back on here. It curries favor with the president, and they've gotten a reprieve in terms of the trade tariffs to December 15th, which is going to be good for iPhone sales. It's awesome.
Yes.
I got to take a look at Disney. And why am I going to do that? Because Toy Story 4, okay? It's Disney's fifth billion-dollar movie just this year. That really is
record-breaking. It's incredible.
Unbelievable.
5 movies this year, each of them bringing in $1 billion.
Despite the lousy earnings report last time.
Exactly.
Now, all of those movies, by the way, are going to go on to Disney's streaming service.
Correct. Disney Plus.
Which opens up soon. Yep. So, David, is that a bad sign for Netflix?
It puts them under tremendous pressure because before Disney did not have the streaming channel, and now they've got the streaming channel. Of course, they are the king of content on the planet.
Okay, Netflix.
Yes, I would be a little worried about Netflix. I'm so excited. Disney has these 5 movies, and that's before they have Frozen 2 coming out in November, and they also have Star Wars, the final Star Wars, and all of the series, which makes my goosebumps come. So I'm so excited for that.
They're all sequels.
I know, Stu, but when you grow up with Luke Skywalker, this is the last Skywalker, so this is huge. So Disney's, I project we're going to have at least another 2 movies that go $1 billion. Frozen for sure, and Star Wars, of course.
Young lady, I grew up with Cary Grant. Okay. What do you got?
That's Stu's Luke Skywalker. Look, Avengers Endgame, Lion King, Captain Marvel, Aladdin, Toy Story 4, the $5 billion movies. And to your point, which one of those is original?
None.
But responding to consumer demand, another interesting factoid.
Doesn't matter, I guess.
Box office receipts are down 6.5% year over year, which just shows the power of the streaming channel.
Absolutely.
Okay. Check that big board because we're up almost 200 points as the futures market predicted. If you hold on for 1 second, we might get to a plus 200. Right now it's there you go. Up 203. Thank you, everybody. NVIDIA, okay, they make gaming chips, and they are up today. Strong performance in their financial report, up $12, and that's 8%. Walmart, now that was a real big winner yesterday. They had a very strong earnings report, and they're up some more today. $114 a share on Walmart. That's up 1.3%. How about Bitcoin? What happened to that? Maybe a rush to safety last week, but now they're back to exactly $10,000 a coin. Here's the news that I really like. Okay, the price of oil. Let's get rid of that. $55 a barrel. Here's what I want. There you go. $2.63 per gallon is the current quote. The regular price of gas nationwide on average. By the way, in California, it's $3.60 on average.
Taxation.
I'm not going to say a word. John Deere. No, it's not Deere any longer. It's not John Deere. It's Deere and Company. Okay, their profits fell, but they gave a strong sales outlook for Latin America. That apparently is very important. The company says that farmers here are holding back on buying big equipment. I guess, Rebecca, that's because of the trade
Absolutely.
fight.
It is 100% focused on the fact that China's not buying our agriculture, so where's the demand?
And yet the stock is up 4%. Very, very nice.
Long-term consumer durable long-term, and, it's going to be long-term, we're going to get this worked out.
Do you think investors are betting on an agricultural deal with China?
I do think so. I think we'll at least get that. That's not the problem. It's the intellectual property and the made in China 2025.
All right, Rebecca, let's go on the next one. What have we got? We have GE, very important subject here. This is for you, David.
Yeah.
GE took a big hit yesterday and the day before after a Madoff whistleblower, I'm not going to try to pronounce his name, but he accused GE of cooking the books. GE says the allegations are without merit. Now, you've been a bull on GE. Let me point out that the advisor, this analyst, he gave his report, which was very negative on GE. He gave his report to a short seller before the report was made public.
Right.
That implies to me that this analyst, Mr. Markopoulos,
that's right.
Markopoulos, he has a vested interest in this stock going down. I mean, come on.
Certainly, we have to look at his motivations and how much he was paid and what he shares in terms of the short seller's profits. But I think more important is the fact that Ray Culp, the new CEO of GE, has voted in terms of dissing this report by his opening up his wallet.
Yeah.
He's invested $2 million of his own money in GE stock. He's already up this morning. Also, GE is a publicly traded entity. It was not like the Madoff fund. So this has been looked at for several years now by all analysts on the face of the planet, and they have not found anything similar. So I'm skeptical of this report.
He calls it a bigger fraud than Enron. I mean, that's a really strong statement.
And he used the word fraud.
Yes.
Which is litigious.
Yes.
Okay. By the way, David, yesterday GE fell 11%. It was the biggest decline, one-day decline in many, many years. I don't know how many years, but it was a long, long time.
Full disclosure, I joined with Mr. Culp in buying some shares yesterday. So,
you did?
Yes, I did. Not to the $2 million scale, but I think we're going to see a GE rebound.
Okay, you think? What do you think, Rebecca? Would you touch it?
Yes, actually, absolutely, because I do think that this report is not on the status of a Bernie Madoff, and if you look at GE's reserves and what they could pay, they could deal with this $18 billion that this analyst is even talking about. So I don't think that this is Enron. This is definitely not Enron.
Okay, well, it's still at $8.60 a share, GE. A few years ago, that would be unthinkable.
Yeah.
How about Capital One? The Wall Street Journal reports that some employees raised some red flags before the big hack. Tell me more on it, Jackie.
Well, the Journal is saying that they were worried about the strength of that cybersecurity unit, that there was a lot of turnover with the employees, and that maybe the company hadn't invested enough in software to defend against these hacks. And Paige Thompson, that former Amazon employee, she got in there, she got the data, and there was a breach. Now, we believe that it was not used for nefarious purposes at this point. But, it raises awareness on companies strengthening those units and making sure they're secure for their customers.
Okay, Capital One is up a little bit today, but not recovering fully from where it was previously. Just show me the text, the big text, please. Where are they now? Well, they're all up this morning. All right, David, take a look at those on the screen. Do you see any bargains there? Anything that you would buy right now at those prices?
Well, we certainly like Microsoft. Apple has a good valuation. Amazon is going to enjoy the strong consumer. I think these higher valuations actually can be justified for several reasons. One is low debt, a huge increase in revenues, and basically monopoly status for some of them. Who doesn't use Google when they're searching for something?
Yeah.
Rebecca, which if any, would you buy?
I think Facebook long-term has some long-term strategy growth for it, because if you look at Libra and what they're looking at to do there, I think investors are going to be speculative like they are with Bitcoin, and they're going to jump on the Facebook bandwagon just for that.
If you owned any of them, would you sell them today?
No.
Any of them would you sell?
No.
Right. David, any sell?
We're holding today.
You're holding today, but you did buy GE yesterday.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. I'm on record.
All right.